All right, ladies and gentlemen, finally, the long-awaited Solo 6656. This is one of the new, or it's not the only, it's definitely one of the new ventures that Solo chainsaws can be found in. It's now Solo by ALCO. ALCO is a company that here in the States, we have Hilti is one of the companies. Is Hilti? I don't know. Hilti might make their own stuff with a lot of their products, but they used to make other things. But anyways, I know Wacker is one of the companies. Basically, they supply industrial tools and things of that nature, and they have other people make them for the company, and they brand it with their branding, ALCO. So anyways, ALCO is definitely known to have high quality equipment. It's yet to be seen whether or not this is one of those. Now I know that, so I got this in Poland, around the Warsaw area, and I lost my train of thought. Dang it, I should just run the saw. No, I want to talk a little bit about the saw. It's supposed to be 55.5 cc's. Oh yeah, it's touted as being designed by a German engineer or engineering team or something, designed by Germans, built in Austria. That's all over the print for this thing, on the box, in the instruction manuals. You go online, same thing. Turns out, it's a made in China saw. So it's just all lies. The best that I can hope for is that it's all made in China and assembled in Austria. But yeah, this is a Chinese saw. It's not a clone. This is a one-off. This is clearly a very different design than your typical Chinese saws, and I've never seen anything like it. This will be my very first time starting it. I just fueled and oiled it. So we're going to see how she cuts. I will say that it does not seem to have limiter caps. It has a square D or a single D screws for adjusting the carburetor. The choke's right here. So yeah, choke is on there. It's got an easy start, and I already don't like the easy start. It seems to be flimsy, or not really flimsy. Everything on the saw, the fit and finish is extremely nice. I will openly say that. It's just as nice as anything else on the market. The feel and the fit and finish overall of this saw is really, really nice. So let's see how she runs. See that you got to get way out there for that to happen, to work. Sounded like it popped there. A little bit of a rattle trap. First cuts. Well, that seems absolutely pathetic and wildly rich. So, So it's 3/4 of turn in from factory. One full turn in. I didn't hear any burble whatsoever, so I'm going to go back to 3/4 turn. Get a different angle. Idling at about 2,900, that seems nice. Revving out to 12.7. Keeps going down on the rev out. Tells me it probably wants a little more fuel. Yeah. So, revving it out, free revving it like that, if you notice that the more you do it, the lower it goes, right? That means it's building up too much heat in the cylinder, so you need to add a little bit more fuel. So I added a little bit more fuel and it actually increased the free rev. All right, so it's free revving at about 12.6. Let's see what it does in the wood. That's too rich. 10,000 RPMs all the way through the wood. That's not too shabby. It's got a nice momentary kill switch. Really like that. It feels really smooth in the cut. Part of that's the chain. It's a really nice steel RS 325 chain, 20-inch bar, 78 drive links. I mean, you know, this is the most I've ran it, so I can't give too much of a valued opinion, but it feels good. It feels, I mean, like any equivalent Husqvarna or Stihl. Husky doesn't have an equivalent to this. They've got the 455 Rancher, but that's a lot bigger and heavier than this. This thing is they range from 46.5 cc's to 55.5 cc's. So matching it against the 455 Rancher is not good. Because the 455 Rancher is actually built on a 60cc platform and is considerably bulkier and probably heavier than this. This thing wants to run a 325 chain. It's a big small saw is what it is. It's a big 50cc saw, I should say that way. If you're Jeff Seacombe, he thinks that a 67cc saw is small. But it's probably a farm and ranch grade. Nothing special, but you know, nice enough. It's something, right? It was inexpensive. I think I paid right at about $380 US for it. And you know, I mean, what can you expect for $380? It's not going to be able to compete with, say, 550 XP or the Stihl MS261, but would it compete with the 271? Absolutely. Probably right there with it, something like that. The good thing about this is it is a pro level construction, okay? Meaning it has probably aluminum cases, but you know, they say it's magnesium cases, and maybe it is. Maybe it's magnesium cases, but it has a cylinder that we can take off and easily machine and do some port work to it and get some more power out of it. So I definitely think it's got potential. Let's see if it restarts. See, that heat soak is real. It's really, really real. Choke it and high idle. I'm not going to test it now or any time in the near future with anything else because I got just too many things on my plate. I was excited to run it, just like I'm sure a lot of you guys were excited to see it, so I went ahead and did it. But what I can say about the saw is it feels good, it feels smooth, it feels pretty dang low on power compared to the things that I'm used to, which I'm not even talking about ported saws, I'm talking about just a good professional level saw. It's pretty low on power compared to that, but I would say it's probably right on par with, say, a Stihl MS271. That's what I would probably put this up against. And I mean, it seems fine. It'd be really interesting to see how it wakes up whenever we open up that muffler, because I'm certain it's really quiet. You notice I don't have any earplugs in. It's quiet, it's smooth, and it feels like a decent little saw for a homeowner type. Another thing, I would probably rank it into the same power category as one of the Zenoa Chinese clones. Things like the Salem Master, the John Cutter, the Weimars, the ones that are labeled 5800, you know, it's probably on par with that. So, as it is, nothing special, but you know me, give me a few months, I'll get back into this thing and I'll port it up and see what we can do. Maybe we can create a little monster. But if you're getting one of these expecting full tilt professional solo chainsaw, it ain't that. Don't think that it is. You know, if it was, they wouldn't be selling it for 380 American dollars. Okay, that was power head only. You know, they had one of the older Domar built solos, what do they call that? It's a 56cc. I don't know what they call it. I think it's a 656. That's what I think. What's this? This is a 6656. So, but they had one of those there, and that would have been over 700 US dollars. And that is truly a pro grade saw. And so you can't expect this thing to match up to something like that. It's almost half the price. But I have high hopes for dressing this thing out and seeing what we can get out of it. As of right now, I'm going to blow all this sawdust off me, get naked, and take an outdoor shower, because it's freaking hot and I can do that. Isn't it nice?